Today, I would like to discuss the inyan of davening in Shul. I know yesterday we discussed the inyan of tefillah b'tzibur, but I actually want to take it in a different level and discuss the inyan of actually davening in a Shul and being koveya mokum l'tefillah. First of all, I want to tell you like this. I want to read you a Gemara in Brachos, Daf Zayin Amud Aleph. Very, very important Gemara, very, very nogea Gemara, and a Gemara that we should remember. And the Gemara says like this. The Gemara wants to know, tefillah, the ikka mitzvah tefillah b'tzibur. Is it dafka in the Beis HaKnesses? Says the Gemara in Brachos Daf Zayin. Ein tefilosoi shel odom nishmoes ela b'Beis HaKnesses. You know what that means in English? The tefillah of a person is only answered in a shul. Says Rashi. And says the Gemara continuing on Ches Amud Aleph. Mi she'ein nichnas leBeis HaKnesses nikra shachin ra. If you don't enter the shul, you're considered to be a bad neighbor. The goyim golus lebanov, and you cause exile to your children, which is an incredible thing because it tells us that a person has tefillas of going to shul in itself is choshev. The Chofetz Chaim writes at the end of Sefer Shmiras Haloshen that people make their own minyanim in their houses, and it stops them from going to shul. And he says in the shuls of the Chofetz Chaim, the kedusha is much more, the tefillah is more heard, and therefore it's more accepted. And that's why it's such an important thing, the Gemara in Brachos. Okay, so that's number one. The inyan of davening in a shul. In fact, the Mishnah Berurah discusses what happens on a very rare occasion. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but there are people in the world that miss minyan sometimes, right? It happens sometimes. You miss a minyan, whatever, it happens. So what do I want to do? I want to put on tefillin. I want to daven. Where should I daven? Should I daven in my room or should I daven in shul? Now, both of them are empty. There's no minyan going on anywhere. The Chofetz Chaim and the Mishnah Berurah paskins you should daven in shul. Why? Because the shul is a mokim kedusha. The Beis HaKnesses has kedusha. Voila.
Says you should daven in your room.
What does that mean? In which case exactly was he asked?
Mizman tefillah, you should daven at home.
Okay, so that again, that was not negate our conversation. That's talking about in a situation when someone's going to be watching you and see you missing things, whatever. We're talking about a situation where the base medrash is empty, the shul is empty, or my house is empty. So I can either daven in my house, or I can go to shul and daven in shul. Chofetz Chaim paskins you should daven in shul. None of the kill Hashem, no one's watching you, whatever. Simply because a shul, the kedusha is there. Now, we're going to talk about that as well, a couple of things I want to get to. But a person has to realize, mokum number one, to realize that the mokum of tefillah that a person should daven is in shul. Okay? Now, I want to move on because this is also very, very important. This is a chelik of the same inyan as well. Now, why am I discussing all of these things? Really, we're discussing a chizuk in davening. Now, we can discuss a chizuk in davening, talk about stories, and Mamari Chazal, but there are other ways as well. The Shishon Pinkas, for example, talks about in the beginning of Shalom Tefillah, that if a person approaches Tefillah in the correct way, in the way that Chazal want us to approach it, that can often help with his concentration, with his kavanah, and ultimately with his Tefillah being answered. So there's a Gemara in Brachos, which we're all familiar with, Davov on the base. And the Gemara says, Kol ha-koveya mokim l'tfilasei. If a person is koveya, a mokim, a place, a set place in shul for his davening, Elokei Avram ba'azoi, the God of Avram will come and help him, which means that your tefillah will more be answered in that case, which is an incredible thing. The Shulchan Aruch brings in Simon Sadiches and Arachaim that tefillah is b'mokim korban, and therefore every korban we know has a mokim kavua, has a place where you bring it up, and therefore that's why a person has to realize that, in fact, Reb Chaim Kanievsky writes, he has a sefer called Orchos Yosha, and he writes that Chalila Lizalzal in something that's paskin in Shulchan Aruch, it's a chiyuv, and as there's a certain need, a person should have a specific place in shul. Now, this is paskin la halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch paskin in Simon Sali Sikvutes that a person should be koveya mokim to daven in that place and not change his place in shul for any reason whatsoever. Not enough, says the Shulchan Aruch, just to have a Beis HaMedrash kavua, which is also, by the way, very choshev. If I'm going stiebel hopping from one to the other, you don't have the same kavanah, right? I'll give you an example, right? Just to make this very, very, very practical. When you go to a new shul, a brand new shul, you never saw this shul before, right? What are most people doing during davening? Looking around. Why? wow, it's a beautiful painting, and that's a beautiful lighting, and the chandelier, and whatever it is. It's when a person is in a new place, naturally what a person does is he looks around and he's not familiar, and it takes away his concentration. When a person davens in the same shul every single day, he's no longer looking around. Because I know the shul, I know the chandelier, I know the windows, I know the view, I know the surrounding. You're not looking around. So when you convey a base medrash, a shul, and every person should, then that's a gavaldig maila. The next maila is to have a mokim in shul. Now, by the way, Rabbi say, the owner should be makbid in this. Right? You're in yeshiva, you have a base medrash, you have places, Baruch Hashem, there are a few places when you come to Shachar that are still available, that you can actually find a place that should be your mokim for tefillah. You see people, they randomly go daven over there, one day they daven over there, wherever it's nearer, wherever someone is. A person, again, first of all it's a Gemara, second of all it's a psak in Shulchan Aruch, it's halach in Shulchan Aruch, like every other halacha, learning Hilchos Shabbos, Hilchos Brachos, that you have to have a kurveya mokim for davening. This is your place. Not only is it halacha, but it's also a skula for kavana, which basically means that the tefillahs get answered more. Now, where do we learn this from? We learn it from who? Where do we see this? Where do we ever see this? Don't all shout at once. Where do we learn this from? Avram Avinu. How do we learn from Avram Avinu? The pasuk tells us, "Vayashkem Avram ba'boker el hamokem asher omad sham." Says the Gemara, what do you see from there? And says the Gemara, because Avraham Avinu understood that he wanted to go back to the original place that he davened, and therefore, that's why he davened in that place. Now, does this mean for Shemana Esrei, or does this mean for all davening? By the way, for people that daven at home, and this was very negay during the Corona time, that where people were not going to shul, they were davening at home, they should also have a mokum kavua for davening. They should have a specific place on the table or a specific room that's where they daven, because at the end of the day, that helps for the concentration. I want to tell you something. The Kavachaim says, now the Kavachaim is Reb Chaim Palaji in Siman Yud, brings down very, very scary things on people that are not kaveya a mokum for davening. And he says like this. He says the mashchisim are the destroyers that are created from a person's aveiras. They come and grab the tefillah that you utter not in the right place, and they use it for their own strength. Now, what exactly that means and how exactly that affects us, I have no idea. That's Divrei Kabbalah, so at least in public I can't tell you I know what that means. But basically what Chaim Palaji is telling us is that when a person davens in a place that's not set, he's giving koyach for the mashchisim, for the people. I want to tell you, Moyudik Lekuti Marich. The Lekuti Marich brings in Chelik Aleph Obad Chav Gimel, he brings a mashal from the Heiliger Arizal. The Arizal brings like this. You have a king, and the king wanted to smash down a wall of a specific city, because he wanted to conquer the city. So what happened is, he took a huge stick, and he started beating, and he started beating, and he kept on beating the very same place, until eventually the foundation gave way, and the place came crumbling down. That's a good king. That's a king that understands. But if you have a king that's a shoita, that's a fool, you know what he's going to do? He's going to hit one hit over there, one hit over there, one hit over there, one hit in all different places. It's not going to do anything. Yeah, make a little dent over there, a little dent over there. When you keep beating in the same place, and you keep banging again and again in the same mokoim, says the Arizal, that has koyach. Says the Mekuti Marich from the Arizal. The same thing with us. We don't have a Beis HaMikdash. So the only thing we have is a Dalal Koser Shal Beis HaMedrash, as the Gemara Brachos says. All we have is the Shul, we have our Beis HaMedrash, we have our Beis HaKnesses. Our tefillahs b'mokum korban. That's our koyach, that's our stick. If we keep banging in the same place, the wall will come down. But if you keep banging in a different place, a different shul, in a different area, in a different situation, different bench, different table, different chair, it's not going to have the same effect. It's a beautiful moshel, says the Mekuti Marich, to understand what it means to be kuveya mokim for davening. It's such an incredible thing. A person has to realize that a person should try to make sure that he's kuveya mokim. By the way, what does it mean kuveya mokim exactly? First of all, before we get to that, the Torah brings down why we need to have a set place for davening, and he says that tefillah is b'mokum korban, and just like a korban has to be in exactly the same place. The reason, by the way, for those of you that are learning Daf Yomi, we're learning about the inyan of shechting a korban Pesach, not the shem Pesach, is that there's not allowed to be a machshava that's not the shem korban. We're worried that if you change the place of the korban, you're going to have your different machshava. If you daven in a different place, you're like making the korban in a different place, and that is a problem. That's what the Torah says the reason. Rashba and the Meiri say you have more Yireh Shamayim when you daven in the same place. The Chinuch also brings down that your concentration is much better when you daven in the same place. And there is a riff on the Ein Yaakov that says the reason is we daven in any place, it looks like tefillah is a masa. Looks like it's a burden. I'll just get it over and done with, just whatever. We'll daven here, we'll daven there. Just finish, man. Just get a move on, yeah? Just get a move on. We've got patience for davening. Zog the riff on the Ein Yaakov. If we're Kaveya and Mokum, we're showing, no, I want to daven. And I'm specifically going to come to my place in order to daven in this place over there. By the way, the Tzlach brings down that when you have a Kavua Mokum, so basically the Kedushas HaMokum will help for your answering of the Tefillah as well over there. Now, just by the way, very important to know, Dalad Amos is included. You know you have that person that you get to your seat in Shul and there's someone sitting there. So you sort of stand near and the guy's like, is this your seat? No, sit over there, it's okay, it's over. Why'd you stand next to him? You never saw that before? People do that thing, I'm not the, right? I'm not crazy, right? Okay, fine. So people do these things, right? You don't have to go crazy, you don't have to kick someone off your seat. You go Daladamas, you go to the next seat, you sit next to him. How you doing, man? No problem. Then you're okay. That's called Kaveya Mokim for Tefillah.
Start going on vacation then?
You don't have to go on vacation. You could go daven. It's not a problem. Dalad Amos is considered to be. We know that the Gemara says Gemara in Erevin, Gemara in Shabbos. Kol Dalad Amos is considered to be your mokim, right? Alright, you leave the tchum, you're allowed to go Dalad Amos because that's your mokim. So therefore, if your place is over here and you have places within Dalad Amos, you don't have to drive the guy crazy. Okay, now. Okay. What we're going to do tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, is we're going to go through and we're going to run through a couple of other interesting shailas and halachas that are on a geya to davening in shul. Now that we've learned about tefillah b'tzibur, now that we've learned about being kaveya al mokim in the Beis HaKnesses, in a specific place in the Beis HaKnesses, I want to go through some of the other halachas and inyonim of davening that will hopefully try to improve our kavanah and our intention in the davening itself. But I think what we have to take out from today is to realize that, and we should all try to do this. I don't believe there's any person here that cannot do this, right? Baruch Hashem, there's many benches, many chairs out there. Pick a place. This is you have a place, Baruch Hashem, that we know. You have a place that I remember. You have a place. I'm not sure if you do? Okay, I was right. I'm not going to get you have a place. You have a place. Yeah? Generally, by the radiator, you have two places, just in case the radiator's on or off. Just in case the... fine, you have two places, but it's actually within Daladamas, by the way. So in Daladamas, you have a place. It's very important, by the way, not only in yeshiva. And it's Hashem, you guys are going to get married, make a lot of money to support the yeshiva, Be'ez Hashem, and you're going to have a shul. You're going to have a shul, you're going to be Kaveya Mokoim, you're going to make sure you buy a seat at your place. Shouldn't be near the door. By the way, the Shulchan Aruch says it shouldn't be near the door. Why not? If you have the seat near the door, what does that show? We're going to be out for breakfast. Going to be out first. It's not good. It's not good to be near the door, right? And therefore a person should try to make sure he has a place. Tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, we're going to go through many different halachas that are negei Be'ez Hashem.